So today we're going to be taking a full look at the newest from Calvin Klein. This one is Defy for men. Just a eau de toilette is what we're starting out with here. I'm going to be going over how this one smells, how it performs, when you can wear it, what it smells similar to, and if I think it's going to be worth picking up, especially as time goes on and the price continues to come down on this one. Because like most retail priced things, this one is about $80-ish or above for 100 ml at retail. I will link this one down below to Fragrance Buy, where you can get it for the mid $50 range for this price point, or this bottle size, which I do think is already a decent price point for this one. I actually do enjoy it. And we're going to dive into that one here. Calvin Klein Defy. I think this is going to start the next wave of fragrance flankers. There's probably going to be a lot playing off of this one, especially if this original here starts off really well. I think there's a lot going for it already. Love the bottle. Also, nice snap-on cap. Great atomizer on these. Let's just get into it. So when you first spray this one on, what you get right away is this kind of bubblegummy sweet, but hear me out, bubblegummy sweet kind of citrusy opening. And it will remind you of some things right off the bat. Has a little bit of an Yves Saint Laurent Y type of style going on. And I know that sounds terrible because, not that Y is terrible, but because that already exists, right? And it may sound boring, and yeah, it does open up that way. But I want you to stick around with me to the end here, and I also want to make sure that if you test this one for yourself, that you stick through the entirety of the scent, because it does start to develop much further than that, which we'll cover here in a minute. I will take a look at the note breakdown here. We've got bergamot and lavender up top, vetiver in the mid, amber in the base. So not a whole lot going on. It's basically one note shy of the standard 3-note breakdown that brands are kind of moving towards these days. But really, they're kind of giving you just what you need to know, basically. They're not throwing in a bunch of fluff that most people probably won't pick up on anyway. This is kind of it. Opens up with that bergamot. The lavender comes through, giving it just that clean smell, kind of a modernized smell. It's not an old school smelling lavender. It's a new lavender. It has the vetiver, which we'll cover in a second, that comes through later on in the scent. And this one does make a shift towards a vetiver leaning scent, which I think smells great. And then the amber, which is, kind of giving it some of that YSL-Y, bubblegummy, kind of sweet smell that it's playing off of here. So it's definitely the closest to fragrances like YSL-Y when you first spray it on. But you'll find that as soon as you start to let it dry down, and I'm talking on skin here, it will start to kind of walk away from that. Even just after 30 seconds to a minute, you can kind of tell it's taking a shift. The longer it sits on your skin, the more the vetiver comes through, the more that kind of bubblegummy sweetness steps to the back. And so, that's great news for me. Don't get me wrong, and you guys know this, I love YSL-Y, EDP Parfum, but that's just that. I already have those. A lot of you guys have those. So if this smelled exactly like that from opening to dry down, it would be nice for some people who want an affordable alternative, but for people who already have those fragrances, it wouldn't make any sense. Luckily, as this one sits, like I mentioned, it kind of takes a turn in a different direction here, which I really like. The vetiver comes off a little bit spicy. It's very clean as well. The scent overall is just very clean and wearable, kind of a combination of the vetiver and the lavender. The vetiver isn't too smoky or dry. It's very wearable, very mass-pleasing. There are some fragrances out there using vetiver, like, I don't know, Terre d'Hermès Eau Intense Vetiver, for example, where it's very dry, smoky, very woody, and that wouldn't be for everybody. Some people would smell that, and they would potentially just be a little bit off-put by it, or at the very minimum, they just wouldn't really care for it. That's not how the vetiver comes across here. It's very approachable, very easy to pull off. And like I said, you give this one time to settle down, it continues to get stronger there with that note. So this one's going to be very, very good for spring and summertime. You know, probably, I don't know, more so spring and fall transitional seasons or just cooler summer days. This isn't one that I would necessarily gravitate towards in, you know, the dead of summer, July, August, where it's super hot, super humid. You could do it. I would choose other things, though, because I have other things to wear when it's that hot. But I could see this one being very appealing for just the cool weather, you know, especially now as we're in springtime here. Everything's starting to kind of thaw out. We're starting to get a bit of warmth in the air, right? At least around where I live. And this type of weather is perfect for this one because it has that mixture of that kind of amber, bubblegummy sweetness, a little bit of that playfulness, but then it also has that aromatic woodiness, which smells amazing. Kind of going in the backwards direction here, but the bergamot that it opens up with is very nice as well. You know, it's high quality. And that's one thing that I've noticed about this fragrance as I've been testing it from opening to dry down, is it is high quality, you know. Sometimes, depending on which fragrance, certain Calvin Kleins can come across a little bit synthetic, a little bit cheap smelling. Not in a bad way, it's just that's how they are. They are cheap after all at discounters. But I found that this one has more of a kind of a premium feel to it. Everything from, first of all, the bottle, the presentation, like I mentioned earlier, is very nice, very appealing to the eye, but also the wearing experience, the quality, how it develops and wears on your skin, how it performs. It has more of a premium feel versus some of the other Calvin Kleins, which, you know, some could be kind of a throwaway. The bergamot's very bright. This one opens up super fresh and uplifting, and this one is kind of an attention grabber right off the first rip. And that's one thing that's kind of important to me and to a lot of people as well, as the opening. How much does it grab your attention? Because some people, if it is kind of not really their thing right off the first spray, they're already going to be thinking about scrubbing it off and giving up on it. And so when you have something that right out of the gate starts off strong like this one, and again, I'll just do one more spray up in the air because I love smelling the opening. Man, you know, it's one where every time I smell it, I pick up on different nuances. That time I got some aromatics in the air, kind of a spiciness from the vetiver kind of tingling through the lavender. A nice bergamot up top too, juicy, bright, aromatic, fruity, woody. Very, very nice. I have to say, I haven't been this excited about a Calvin Klein in a long time, but I'm pretty hyped up for this one. And it also has me thinking about what's yet to come in this line. I'm sure they're going to do an EDP. Maybe they'll do a parfum. They may even do an eau fresh, right? Maybe they'll do summer editions. I don't know. The beginning of a brand new line, which is always cool to see, especially from a brand that has tons and tons of flankers and like CK, you know, all the summer, CK1, all of that stuff, Eternity. So it's cool to see. Even now, I've been recording for about 8 minutes or so. I've got it on my hand. I sprayed it on before I started. Just within that 8 minutes, it's come so far. Now it's all about the vetiver. So you give it a good 10 minutes, just hold on for that long, 10 minutes, that's all I ask. And you're getting into that vetiver and that lavender. The amber has really stepped back now, and it went from being kind of bubblegummy sweet and fruity in a way to now just clean, masculine, refined, and vetiver heavy. And now it really is getting into my jam. And it's almost like the vetiver has kind of taken a different approach as well. It's almost like a different type of vetiver has come through to where it is a little bit more of a kind of earthy vetiver in a way, ever so slightly, still not to the extreme, but it's really done a complete 360, and that's what I love about this one. It's almost like a mullet. Business in the back, party in the front, business in the front, party in the back is what it is. I guess it would be switched with this one though. Party off the top and business in the dry down, something like that. I don't know, the mullet. It's kind of how it is, seriously. Dry down smells amazing. I'm a sucker for YSL Y smelling fragrances, so the opening is great, but I also love me vetiver fragrances that kind of have a maturity, and that's what this one has. Very well done. All right, we'll touch on performance real quick, and then we'll get out of here. Longevity on my skin has been consistently within that 6-hour price range, 6-hour time range. Something, I don't know why I keep saying price range in this video. 6 hours longevity, kind of right around there in average. It's an eau de toilette. It is going to be affordable, more so than it is now as time goes on. I'm not going to beat it up too bad over performance. Do I wish it did better? Of course. I always like 8 hours, plus if possible, or at least 8 hours at a minimum. It's shy of that, 6 hours or so. I can't hate it too bad. And again, all I'm thinking about is looking ahead and thinking about the EDP, the Parfum, all of the others. They have plenty of time to improve upon this and make them stronger. Projection is also a little bit soft, I think, as the weather warms up. And if you choose to wear it in the warmer weather, it'll project much more once you get some heat on it. Kind of room temperature like this, it's not going to do a whole lot. If you're moving around, if your body temperature was warming up, if you were in a party or something like that where there's just a lot more going on, it would project more. But other than that, it's going to be pretty soft. That's going to do it for me. That's my thoughts on Calvin Klein Defy. I like it a lot. I can't stop smelling my hand. I love that vetiver note in the dry down. And that's really what it's all about, man. Vetiver in the dry down. YSLY, bubblegummy, fresh sweetness up top, vetiver out back, and it smells really nice. Again, I will link it down below. Currently about $50 or so for 100 ml, which was pretty quick to happen. Fragrance By always seems to get the new releases in quick and discount them. So if you want to get one, you can. And remember, the price is going to continue to drop over the next few months. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.